What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the Bianconeri zone, and welcome back the day after a disappointing result. However, Motta described it as a very good point, a very good moment for Juve. Almost, I thought he was going to say a key moment for our season, but Motta was satisfied, and he had quite a few things to say post game. So before we do that, as always, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications. We will be live later tonight to break that down even more and actually prep already for Villa on Tuesday. But yeah, Motta was satisfied. He was happy. He was like, I'm proud of the players. He said, considering the situation we're in with all the injuries and so on, he said, I was really proud about the team. You know, we didn't give up anything. We controlled the game. However, he added, we didn't create anything. And that was an issue. You know, the only things we had was Colt Miner's run in the first half and where he blasted it over. And Kososawa, where for some reason he didn't get it on target, which should be and potentially should have been a goal. Other than that, there wasn't anything. So, despite all that, Motta said, I'm satisfied. That was a good point. You know, he said that's something we needed, which is weird that he said that, in my opinion. Considering, like, if you played a very high, like, a team that's on scintillating form, you know, attacking wise, smashing teams, and you put in that performance and you neutralize them, fine. But that was not Milan. You know, Milan are not in scintillating form. Milan are not good this season. They should be better, but they're not. They're a very poor side, to be honest. You know, they don't offer, like, we don't offer anything, but they don't offer anything as well. You know, especially at home. I think a lot of Milan fans will be disappointed, and rightfully so. But yeah, I need to look at it from our side, and that was, I get, considering the issues we have, it was still not good enough. You know, we should still be offering more, and we have the same issues with the players missing or without the players missing. It's the same thing. You know, up front, going forward, it's not what it should be. That's as simple as that. You know, but let's do the player ratings a little bit. Di Gregorio, I need to give him a 6. He had absolutely nothing to do. I'm still waiting for his kicking game to actually kick in, you know, pardon the pun, but that has not been very good. But he had nothing to do. So 6. Cambiaso, 6. You know, didn't get involved enough, in my opinion, attacking wise. Not all on him. I thought that was the pace of the game, and we kind of matched that as well. He didn't have a horrible game. Like, defensively, there was not much work to do. You couldn't do anything wrong, in my opinion. So Bremer, damn it. Kalulu, 6.5. I thought he was really good. He had some moments where he really needed to step in, you know, and make that last ditch tackle and so on. And I thought he played a good game. So happy for him, because he had a bad period, I think. But it's good again. So 6.5. Gatti, 6. Did some weird things at times with the ball where he put his teammates in trouble, but that's how that's who Gatti is, you know, and that's probably who he will ever be. He will have those moments in games where he just puts out that ball to nobody and no one, and it's like, what are you doing without pressure? But defensively, he did what he had to do. You know, he defended well. So 6. Savona, I'm gonna give him a 7, because he gets a lot of criticism from fans. You know, oh, he's not good enough. He's not Juve material, so on. I think he's Juve material in terms of, depends on what you want from a fullback. If you want a Cancelo type, then yeah, he's never gonna be that. Obviously, if you want a defensive solid player, he has a potential to be that. And today or yesterday, well, Leao was done. He was toasted. He did absolutely nothing. And I don't know. I'm not a big Leao fan. I've said it many times. He's a very inconsistent player. When he plays well, he's unplayable, but it's more often than not, in my opinion. But Savona did what he had to do. You know, it was a big test, like it was with Farah, and he neutralized Farah, and he did that with Leao as well. So 7, happy for him. Moving up front, that was what I was trying to say. Locatelli, 5.5. I thought in the second half, like, it wasn't a horror game, but at second half, I feel he gets a lot. Like, when games get more close, when it's more closing up shop type of games, and it gets more concentrated, you know, in a small, how do you want to call it, like on a small area of the pitch, he loses sight. Like, he does things where I'm like, why are you just booting it away? Why are you doing this? Like, he does weird stuff in very strange moments. That's how he is when games gets close, and he misplays a couple of balls where it's like, you cannot do that. Those were clean balls, and maybe we could have done something more in those situations. So 5.5, I don't think he had a good game. McKennie, 5.5, I don't think he had a good game as well. Looking technically poor, didn't really had anything going, to be honest. Again, the pitch was bad, but there were some errors where it's like, that's not on the pitch, that's just poor decision making, not enough power behind the ball, too much power. Just, he wasn't good. 5.5. Thuram, 7.5. He was very good. I give him 7.5 because I thought he was better than Savona, but I didn't want to give Savona 6.5. But Thuram was extremely well. All the things I talked about preseason are showing little by little by little. Technically he played a good game, but the way he drives the ball, the way he can put his body in front of anyone, shield that ball, take a few steps, and he's gone, is excellent, and that's key. In these type of games, it should be even more key, and it was at times. I was like, okay, this is gonna work, but the moment he broke loose, there was nobody up front. It was too, I don't know, it was too tense, it was too stretched out. Like, that was like, in these moments, in these type of games where you play a team that's close and you have a player like Thuram who can break open in midfield and make that run, that's key. That's what's going to probably or potentially win you that game. But we did absolutely nothing the moment he progressed that ball, because there was nothing. So not his fault, but he played an excellent game. So 7.5. Conceição, 5.5, didn't have a good game. Actually had a poor game in my opinion. First half, it wasn't easy in terms of everybody knew what Conceição was going to do and Yildiz, because we had nobody into the box. We had nobody. And for Conceição, that was extremely tough, because I think he set a new record for dribbling backwards, because there was nothing to go forward. Like, there was absolutely nothing. Messed out a couple of attacking opportunities with just misplaced passes, a bad touch, so didn't have a good game. 5.5. Yildiz, on the other hand, I thought he had a better game than Conceição. Maybe should have given Conceição a 5. Let me give Conceição a 5 because I'm expecting more from Conceição, and Yildiz a 5.5. In terms of, he didn't have a bad game, Yildiz, and maybe I'm being a bit too harsh because he was lively and he had Emerson, but the end product was not good today. He made weird decisions where he should have shot, far post, took a close maybe, where he should have passed, took a shot, where he should have shot, took a pass. Like, the decision making was not good from Yildiz today. Other than that, like, he beat this man, he did what he had to do, but the end product was not good enough. So let me give him a 5.5. Then Koopmeiners, a player I like a lot, 4.5. He was in trouble for 90 minutes, and yes, the position didn't help, but physically he looked completely off the pace. He looked like we just picked him up from the street in terms of like fitness level. He couldn't keep up with the pace. He was losing the ball, he was losing the battles, he was misplacing easy passes, taking heavy touches time and time again. Like, he is lost. I said it pre-season, international break, that I have a feeling that he feels lost in this team. Obviously, we overpaid. I don't want to talk about that. The club paid that. That's on the player. I discussed that in the summer. We overpaid. I'm not going to hold that against the player. That's a thing you hold against the club. However, you're a much better player and you should be doing much better, because right now, forget about the goals and the assists. It's about the individual things. Heavy touches, bad passes, weird positioning. Like, those things are completely off. So you need to step up, because we're going to need him. And for some reason or somehow, he's going to need to flip it from this to top. And that's a big gap between that. So 4.5, I thought he was poor. Off the bench, who came off the bench? Yeah, we are, if he gets the goals, fine. If you stick him on the wing, for me, he's useless attacking wise. I'm sorry. He has all the pace, but he cannot control it. It's like somebody who just woke up and got superpowers, like Spider-Man. He woke up, he knew it, and he had no clue how to use it. That's what we are. He has pace, but he has no idea how to use it. I feel it's like it's too much pace and he messes up. So if he doesn't get the goals and you stick him on the wing, I think it's pretty useless in my opinion. I will stick with that. Fagioli came on. Like, he did something in the box, but then for some reason he didn't get any touches of the ball anymore. Not sure what that was about. So 5.5 as well. And in Bangola and Danilo, no rating. But that's our bench. That's the situation. That being said, we need to go to Villa, put in a better performance without excuses, which is not easy. But that's, again, the situation we're in right now. And it's not scary times because Motta seems very confident. Obviously, he needs to be confident. He cannot say, "Man, we are screwed." Like he cannot do that. But he trusts the guys. He trusts this thing will come good. So we need to back him for now, I guess. But we have obvious issues, despite the injuries. We have some issues, and that's just pure, in my opinion, a lot to do with getting to know each other, like being in sync. We don't feel in sync up front, in my opinion, because we control games, we play between the lines well enough, not considering we had an extra man, that not, but in general, we do that very well. It's just, okay, what now? We have possession, we control games, but what do we do with that control and possession? And to be honest, right now, we're doing nothing with it. That's the reality. But who knows? Maybe it flips magically. Only time will tell. But let me know in the comments what you think. Like the video, subscribe, and stay tuned for later tonight for a live show.